Laziness. We all know the word, right? And let's be honest, we've all felt it. But what if everything you think you know about it is wrong? Let's dig into what's really going on.
You know that feeling, don't you? The to-do list is staring you down, the deadline's getting closer, and you know exactly what you should be doing, but you're just stuck, completely frozen, maybe scrolling on your phone, doing anything but the thing. It's so frustrating, and it happens to all of us.
And what's our first instinct? We slap a label on it. Ugh, I'm being so lazy today. And that label, it comes with this heavy, heavy dose of guilt and shame. We just beat ourselves up, thinking we lack willpower or discipline.
But here's a thought, and it's a pretty big one. What if that feeling, that inability to act, isn't some deep character flaw? What if it isn't about being lazy at all? Okay, so this is the absolute core of what we're talking about today. The myth we've all been sold is that laziness is just a personal failure. Simple as that. But the reality, according to psychologists, is that it's actually a signal. Your brain and your body are trying to send you a message.
So, if it's a signal, what on earth is it trying to tell you? Let's play detective and decode some of the most common messages that are hiding behind that feeling of inaction. First off, there can be some serious psychological roadblocks. Things like apathy, which is a really common symptom of clinical depression, can literally drain your desire to do anything. It's not laziness, it's a medical symptom. Or have you ever had a project that was so huge you didn't even know where to start? Your brain just kind of short circuits. That's not a character flaw, my friend. That is classic overwhelm.
And this quote from social psychologist Justine Lloyd, wow, it just reframes the whole thing perfectly. Procrastination, or even self-handicapping, when we create our own obstacles, these aren't signs of weakness. They are cries for help. They're a sign that someone is struggling and needs support, not judgment.
Then there's what's going on inside our brains, our actual wiring. For someone with ADHD, for instance, the brain works differently. It often has lower levels of dopamine, which is that feel-good reward chemical. This makes it incredibly difficult to start a boring, long-term task because there's no immediate reward, no quick dopamine hit to get things going. And let's be super clear about this. This isn't a choice. It isn't laziness. It is a fundamental difference in how the brain's executive functions work, how it plans, prioritizes, and gets started on things.
We also have to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Sometimes what looks like laziness is a totally rational response to the world around us. When society puts up huge barriers, like systemic inequality or discrimination, it can be incredibly hard to feel motivated. That feeling of what's the point isn't always a personal problem. It can be a symptom of a system that isn't working for everyone.
Okay, so now that we've started to see laziness as a signal, let's talk about motivation. Because I'm willing to bet that most of us have this whole concept completely backwards.
This right here is one of the biggest, most powerful insights from cognitive behavioral therapy. We all tend to sit around waiting for this magical lightning bolt of motivation to strike before we get up and do something. But the research is crystal clear. It's the other way around. Action comes first. The motivation follows the action. Think about it like this. Your brain gives you that hit of motivation and satisfaction after you've started, as a reward for taking that first step. It's not the fuel to start the car. It's the good feeling you get once you're already driving. You have to work from the outside in. You change your behavior first, even a tiny bit, and that's what changes how you feel on the inside.
So this is all great in theory, but how do you actually do it? How do you take action when you have literally zero motivation? Well, let's open up the toolkit. I've got 2 simple, science-backed strategies for you.
Tool number 1 is a game changer. It's called behavioral activation. It's a core technique from CBT and is designed specifically to break that cycle of, I don't feel like it, so I do nothing, so I feel worse. The trick is to schedule activities based on your values, not on how you're feeling in the moment. And it's so simple. Here's the plan. First, pick a core value, something that really matters to you, like your health. Second, choose a tiny, and I mean ridiculously tiny action connected to it. Not run a marathon, but put on my shoes and walk for 5 minutes. And third, this is the magic part. You just do it. You don't wait to feel ready, you just do the 5 minutes.
Your values are your secret weapon here. They're like a compass. When your feelings are just a stormy, confusing mess, your values give you a true north. They point you toward what you actually want your life to be about, making it so much easier to take that first tiny step.
All right, tool number 2 is like a pre-programmed cheat code for your brain. It's a strategy called implementation intentions. The whole idea is to make a plan before you're in the moment, so you can automate your response and don't have to rely on willpower when it's low.
The formula is so simple. If this situation happens, then I will do this action. For example, if I get home from work and feel totally wiped out, then I will immediately put on my walking shoes. See what happens? You've taken the debate out of it. There's no back and forth in your head. The trigger, getting home tired, automatically leads to the action.
So let's wrap all this up and talk about what this new perspective really means for you. It's about fundamentally shifting how you see those moments when you feel stuck.
If you only take one thing away from our chat today, please let it be this. That feeling you've been calling laziness your whole life, it's not a moral failing you should be ashamed of. It's a message. It's data. And your only job is to get curious and figure out what it's trying to tell you.
So let's do a quick recap. Inaction is a signal, not a flaw. You have to act first to create motivation. When your feelings are a mess, your values are your guide. And a super simple if-then plan is way more powerful than just relying on willpower. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. The next time that feeling hits, I want you to try swapping out the question. Instead of falling into that old trap of asking, why am I so lazy? Take a breath and ask a new, much more powerful question. What is my inaction trying to tell me right now? Honestly, the answer just might change everything for you.